Hey there, everybody. Ben Grunwald here, land management technician for the Orianne Society and crew lead for this year's burn crew. So I'm out here on the preserve on Unit 16. This is our big sand hill for the middle tract. It's a gorgeous unit and a really great showcase of a lot of the land management practices that we actually put into place here on the Orianne Preserve and just in general with the interagency burn team throughout Georgia. So for starters, you can see there's a whole bunch of planted longleaf out here that's coming back. It's not that big yet, but one day it'll sort of take over as that canopy and overstory that the sandhill needs. And there's also a bunch of native species out there. It's still kind of mixed in with a whole lot of early successional stuff, but with every year it gets a little bit better, and every year in April this unit actually explodes with lupin and other blooms coming up. It's really gorgeous. So another aspect of the land management work that we do that goes hand in hand with the burning that we do is invasive species work. So as you can see over there, there's a invasive sand pine. This is native actually just across the border in central Florida, but once it gets up here, it's fairly highly invasive. It's listed in Georgia, and as you can see just across the road, once it gets a foothold in that big, thick, dense stand of more mature sand pine, it can really take over, outcompete, outshade other native species, and kind of create a really inhospitable habitat for a lot of our focal wildlife and native plant species. Not only that, it also makes it very difficult to burn. It doesn't like to burn except in very dry conditions, in which case it actually creates really devastating wildfires that are stand replacement fires. So we're really not looking for those, and when it's not that dry, it just really doesn't want to burn at all, so it makes our prescribed fire efforts very difficult. So what do we do about it? We come through, and so actually in the season of 2019, when I was a seasonal technician here, we came through and we came out with chainsaws and we put a lot of these pines on the ground. Now, these can be very difficult to actually effectively manage, and sometimes just going through and cutting them all down doesn't really do a great job. Either they come back from where you cut them, from all the cones that are right around, but we sort of doubled it up by cutting them earlier in the season and then burning it later in the season during the growing season. That really effectively knocked back the existing sand pine in this unit. And even though there's sand pine right across the road over there, and it'll keep coming back, as long as we can keep this unit fairly clear and really encourage all of our longleafs and other native species to keep growing and sort of have the upper hand starting out, it'll place them in a good position to really thrive and succeed compared to the invasives. So hopefully we'll be doing more of that invasive species management hand in hand with our prescribed firework this season. There's a number of other units out there that are looking more like the unit across the road. Some really thick stands of sand pine that need to be worked on, but hopefully if we can get out there and early in the season before we burn and knock them back, we can get those units looking beautiful and get that habitat that we want to see to help restore Georgia. So this has been lighting a match. I hope I'll see y'all next month.